People are in downtown West Palm to pick up their race packets for tomorrow's big Race for the Cure. Tents are going up, the city getting ready to shut down roads for early Saturday morning. One of those taking part in tomorrow's event, a woman who has recently undergone 2 major surgeries and still expects to run all 3 miles. The Now's Katie Johnson has her inspiring story. Katie?
Shannon, for most runners, the 3.1-mile race is a piece of cake. Not for Kathy Kino, who ran the race last year just weeks after a mastectomy. Tomorrow, she's running it just months after another major surgery, which nearly killed her.
And I'm running, and I have the bandages, and I'm crying, and I'm just thanking God that I was here to be able to experience it.
That was how last year's Race for the Cure went for Kathy Kino. Barely able to lift her arms. It was a painful and emotional 3.1-mile run, just 7 weeks after a mastectomy.
I thought if I could just make it 1 mile, I would just walk the rest, but once I got out there and I saw all the women and everybody running and everybody cheering you on, my goal became not just trying to do a mile, but to finish and to do well.
A goal she accomplished with her son cheering her on from the finish line.
I got first place overall female survivor.
A huge accomplishment for Kathy, who once worked as a chaplain at Good Samaritan Hospital. It's the same place she learned she had cancer just months before.
Being a chaplain at the hospital, I was the one praying for all the cancer patients and hospice patients. And then I became the patient.
Almost a year later, Kathy was back in the hospital for another battle. Doctors removed tumors that grew in her abdomen and performed a hysterectomy. But complications with a drug caused internal bleeding.
Everything in my body was shutting down. I was going into shock. I was sick. I was laying in the bed and there was nothing anybody could do.
After 11 days in the hospital, she made it home. Now she's getting ready to run another race.
I wanted to prove to my son that I'm going to be okay, that I will be here for a long time to be a mom to him, and I wanted to show him how strong I was.
And she's a very powerful, very strong woman. There are more than 1,000 survivors participating in tomorrow's race. Kathy hoping again for that first place title. Even if she doesn't win, she's happy to help support others who are currently fighting the disease. She says it was that support that helped her win her battle. Shannon.
What an incredible inspiration. There'll be so many stories just like hers tomorrow. That's the fascinating thing about this race tomorrow. If you want to take part in the Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure, you still can. You can register tomorrow morning, in fact, at the race in downtown West Palm Beach, right there at the Meyer Amphitheater. The women's run gets underway at 7:30 in the morning. It's followed by the men's race. If you're planning to walk, that begins about 9 o'clock in the morning. And don't forget, our Michael Williams and Kelly Dunn are this year's MCs. They will be downtown bright and early to say hello and cheer you on. And Steve Weagle's been watching the weather for us all week on this.